Amidst much speculation over holding assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir, the Ministry of Home Affairs has amended the J&K Reorganization Act 2019, giving more powers to the Lieutenant Governor on matters of transfers and postings of all India service officers, police, as well as appointment of judicial officers. The amendment gives the LG more say in matters pertaining to police, public order, all India service, which require prior concurrence of the Finance Department, and also their transfers and postings. Also, any proposal regarding appointment of Advocate General, law officers, and the proposals regarding grant or refusal of prosecution sanction or filing of an appeal shall be placed before the LG first. This change aims to streamline legal appointments within the Union Territory and ensures that significant legal decisions are reviewed at higher administrative levels. Meanwhile, former Chief Minister of Kashmir and National Conference Vice President Omar Abdullah targeted the centre over this amendment, stating that the people of the Union Territory deserve better than a powerless rubber stamp CM. We're going to talk about this and what the opposition is going to make of it with our panelists. Joining us on the show is Mr. R.S. Patania, BJP leader. Mr. Sumit Peer, senior political commentator, also joins us on the show. Advocate Muzaffar Iqbal Khan, NC spokesperson, also with us on the show. Brigadier Rajan Jamwal, defence expert, with us on the program as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for being a part of this conversation. Mr. Patania, I'll begin with you. First of all, what do you make of this admonishment that has come by the way of Mr. Omar Abdullah? Do you think this is perhaps a regular knee-jerk reaction every time anything related to Jammu and Kashmir, or for that matter, the reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir is announced or taken care of, there is noise? Mr. Patania? Okay, perhaps he's not there with us.
It will take me 2 or 3 minutes to stabilize. Please put a question to some other party. Just give me 2 or 3 minutes.
Mr. Okay, all right. Advocate Khan? Advocate Khan, if you're there with us?
Yes.
All right. How do you look at this this amendment, giving the LG more powers in Jammu and Kashmir? Perhaps this is what the government has learnt in the last 5 years, that to streamline the processes as making life easy in terms of administrative hurdles, this is perhaps the right thing to do.
I don't think so. This is the other way of thinking at the things. To be honest.
Sorry? Okay, this seems...
For what reasons? And apathy to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are now, sir. Go ahead. Keep talking. Go ahead.
I don't look at it as an administrative reform at all. Because since the administration, on the basis of the rules, existing rules, they have been running for last more than 5 years through Lieutenant Governor, and there has been no problem in the administration. On one hand, the Honorable Prime Minister, while visiting to the Kashmir very recently on Yoga Day, has made an announcement here that very soon you will be restored statehood and you will have elected representatives. This is an affront to the elected representative, would-be elected representative of Jammu and Kashmir. You are in a democracy, after all. It is the elected representatives who are accountable to the people. And if the administrative machinery is not accountable to the elected representative, it results in anarchy, to be honest, because Lieutenant Governor is not accountable to the people. He is not supposed to go to the people to seek votes. He is an agent of the central government in every union territory, like a governor. So he is nobody to question a policy decision taken by the elected representative of Jammu and Kashmir. And it is, I fail to understand why this apathy to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. I must tell you very frankly that when the youth of Jammu and Kashmir, when they came across this order in the morning, they woke up to this last nail in the coffin. And most of the people, if you look at the social media reactions, most of the youngsters, they have said on the social media that this is the last nail in the coffin and we have nothing now to lose. We don't fear anything to lose, because once the people we are supposed to elect through electoral process, if they are rendered toothless, they are rendered powerless. If they don't have any authority, the chief minister, elected chief minister of a union territory like Jammu and Kashmir, and I fail to understand what public interest or national interest will it serve when a sensitive state like Jammu and Kashmir and a border state, which is neighboring 2-3 borders on one side, China border, then the Pakistan border, and such a huge state, so far as area is concerned, and a sensitive state is treated like this. The people of that state, erstwhile state, now union territory, if they are being treated like this,
let's get Sumit Peer to respond to you. Sumit Peer, what do you make of these amendments? Of course, Mr. Khan is unhappy that this is not the way to treat the people of Jammu and Kashmir. It's reflecting badly on the seriousness of the government.
Vinny, thank you for having me on your show. Let me remind you, sir, with due respect, there are a couple of things which we need to consider. First of all, J&K is a very sensitive state. It has borders with all the places. It's a state where you had, I'm calling it as a state, forget the current status of a union territory, I'm calling the erstwhile state of J&K. It is the state where you had terrorism for 35 years. Still, it has been brought down, but still it is coming. We've seen the recent attacks in Katwa, Riasi and other areas, which were kind of virgin areas, but still even they have started cropping up. We know Pakistan is active. We know Chinese interests are active. We know M4 carbines are found there. We know Chinese encrypted handsets are found there. Chinese ultra sets are found there. There is substantial evidence it's out in the open media. I'm not casting aspersions. Then we had once upon a time the so-called representatives of the people who allowed the exodus of Kashmiri Hindus to happen, who could not control the state. They let it burn for 35 years, 40 years now. Now, again, if we are going to say CM elected set of people are going to come and there's no check and balance, it's like when BSF was given 50 kilometers of jurisdiction, a lot of people were not happy, but that is in the supreme national interest. It is for all the border states, BSF will have a jurisdiction of 50 kilometers. What is your problem if you have no evil intentions? Let BSF cover up to 50 districts. If Lieutenant Governor is to be consulted and to be, these appointments have to be discussed, what is the problem? You have a similar model happening in Delhi. Where do you see an issue? And in fact, this model should be implemented in all the border states, wherein you cannot have somebody with due respects. I have a stone on my heart when I tell you this. It's so disheartening to see Umar Abdullah losing to Rashid Engineer in Baramulla. We were discussing that. And if you have Umar losing to Rashid Engineer and have people like Rashid Engineer coming to the power and they deciding these IPS, IS and all other transfers, you can imagine what kind of a hell can break loose. So considering the sensitive situation on the ground, considering the law and order is improving, considering the nefarious designs of Pakistan and ISI, it is important and it is very imperative we have some kind of a check and balance. Where does check and balance become interference, Vineet? Like in your channel, you will have an editor, you will have a lot of people whom you listen to, right? Who will have a say in the program. Like, so how is that seen as interference? Then in a corporate, who will listen to a CEO? Then when Prime Minister is interference, then Cabinet Minister is interference. If you go by that logic, it is not interference. It's for the collective good of the people. Because who has suffered for terrorism is the native people of Kashmir. Where have the maximum people been killed? It is the native people of Kashmir. Where the economic development has been hampered, the native people of Kashmir. It may not suit the political interests of NC and Umar Abdullah Saab and Farooq Abdullah Saab. That is besides the point. In fact, they have to be very worried. How did he lose in Baramulla to Rashid Engineer who was staying in jail? That is what Mr. Abdullah should be really contemplating rather than thinking who gets what power. It's not about power, it's for the development, it's about the requisite checks and balances. And I strongly recommend that this should be part of every border state. You should have this kind of a mechanism in every border state. And because we know we need, can somebody answer what are Chinese ultra sets doing? Where are M4 carbines coming? Where are armor-piercing bullets of Chinese found in J&K? Why are Chinese grenades, Chinese pistols all of a sudden found? Why so many ambushes have increased? When we have discovered lithium in Riasi, how that area has been turned into a hotbed. There are international players at play. There are agencies at play. Considering all those security risks, Mr. Amit Shah is doing the right thing in the national interest. It may not suit the brand of politics of Mr. Umar Abdullah, but that's okay. That is his brand of politics. But when I look at the national interest as such, It is a very welcome step. It should be implemented in all the states. I don't see any problem at all. If you are not taking away the powers, you are just, it is a discussion, deliberation, and it is coming to a common ground. So where does discussion, deliberation, and coming to a common ground be seen as the infringement of powers? That is not the case. Because even today, a lot of things in this country happen because of consensus. A lot of people with conflicting interests get together, they come to a consensus, and that is the way forward. So if it is for the collective good of the state, and it is for the collective good of the youth and for the development of the state, it may not suit your brand of politics, sir, but that is not what the nation is going to listen to. You can have your objections to it. It's a democracy. Anybody can raise objections. But your objections are not the words of Bible on which the new laws will be casted and something will be cast on stone which won't be changed till eternity. And they are the same set of politicians with their three generations in power. You know, Vinit ji, what is the position of Kashmir right now? The Kashmir was burning, Pakistan came, they did what they had to do. After abrogation of 35 and 370, look at the incidents are down, look at the occurrence of terrorism is down, look, the violence is down, killing is down, everything is down. You have investment coming, and you have the highest number of tourists going there. You had that era of hartals all the time, 6 mahine ka hartal, you had Gilani calling the shots. Those days are gone. Rather than appreciating and having a collaborative, consensus, you are trying to disrupt the peaceful process, and you are trying to disrupt the interest of the people and the interests of the Republic of India and the state of Kashmir. This is not constructive politics, Vineet. This is destructive politics, and I think the youth of not only Kashmir, but the youth of Jammu, Riyasi, Doda, Kishwar, and the youth of India are looking to it. What brand of a politics is this happening? And I was really aghast when I saw Rashid Engineer defeating Umar Abdullah. I didn't want him to lose because Umar Abdullah winning is 1,000 times better than a Rashid Engineer. We might have 1,001 differences in Umar Abdullah and his politics, but Umar is any day much better than Rashid Engineer. So if you have these situations on the ground and you have 57% turnout for that, we need to caution very, very carefully, because Pakistani and Chinese intelligence have done a joint venture and they don't want this place to be stable. So what we do in our national interest, everybody has to align. That is my limited take on that.
All right, let me also rope in Brigadier Jamwal into this. Brigadier Jamwal, I hope you can hear me.
Good. Yeah, thank you.
So what do you make of these amendments, and how are they bereft of any political flavor at this point in time? And it would be in fact unsavory to infuse any political flavor into this kind of an amendment, as has been done by Umar Abdullah.
You see, J&K also has a history. I mean, specifically from 80s onwards, the history is of prosecution of everybody who has been a nationalist in spirit and supporting people who are anti-national. I mean, you see, Yasin Malik is now in jail all these years since 1990, when he has openly admitted, yes, I have done that. Nothing doing, no prosecution, nothing, absolutely going free. I mean, there are a whole lot of other Bita Karate, you can name them. I mean, these guys are so brazenly, openly coming out on TV and saying we did this, and still no prosecution. All these decades, nothing. This thing. So in this state, I mean, can we really trust the important law and order and the anti-insurgency operations and the prisons? Exactly the thing. It is basically, what have they done? They have just taken the everything related to home. That is law and order, postings of IPS, these kind of things, which actually affect the prosecution and any antisocial element, which has not been happening for decades. And we don't want to go back to those ages. I mean, just want to go back. At the end of the day, what will happen? I mean, either Umar Abdullah will come or Mufti will come. If worse, Rashid Engineer will come. So I agree with the previous speaker. I mean, you can't trust any of these. And in any case, that will be Kashmir-centric. Jammu and Kashmir is not only about Kashmir. I mean, it's a media hype with everything is Kashmir, Kashmir, Kashmir. Yes, this thing. But it is time. This is administered centrally. And I also agree, this should be implemented in all border states. In fact, I will go beyond it. We should have a central management authority. That is something like, we have creating theatre commands. We can create theatres for anti-insurgency operations and intelligence operations. We can create theaters and we can have some authority. It is going beyond that, because all these are interlinked. People come from Punjab, they come to Jammu, they go to Kashmir, they go all over. People infiltrate through Rajasthan. So it is all interconnected. And the way we are working in compartments in separate states, and this will not work. It has to be done centrally, and that is the only way forward. If India has to actually emerge out of this menace of terrorism, we have to do things centrally, because it's a very well coordinated attack. It cannot be fought piecemeal. It has to be fought centrally. Well, that's my take on it.
Okay, all right. Let me also rope in Mr. Patania now. Mr. Patania, I hope you're able to speak to us now.
Yes, I'm able to speak to you.
All right. Well, there is already opposition to these amendments. Do you think that, what Mr. Jamwal or Brigadier Jamwal also said, that in a sensitive state like Jammu and Kashmir, the role of the centre and its proactiveness becomes very, very important despite of the political headwinds they face?
First of all, a very good evening to everybody on board, and very good evening to everybody who's viewing us directly. I told it earlier in the afternoon also that this is just a flash in the pan, just a storm in the cup, which is trying to be raised, pushed, projected, and virtually popularized by a few political vested interests. We should see each and every genuine move of Bharat Sarkar with circumspection. We should see, but should not with suspicion. We shouldn't suspect each and every genuine move of Bharat Sarkar. First of all, virtually an environment and an ecosystem was created once the Jammu and Kashmir was converted into union territory. But with the passage of time, we all came to know that in Jammu and Kashmir, the situation virtually limped, and now it virtually progressed, and virtually we are having an almost a greater control over the law and order. The peace has almost, a sense of peace has almost prevailed in Valley. Greater investments, more transparency in employment generations as well as government employments also. Now, with a view to giving greater precision, reducing red tape, with a view to taking decisions in a better and effective mode, an arrangement has been made by the Bharat Sarkar. I made it clear also that Jammu and Kashmir will not and shall not remain a UT forever. This is an interim arrangement, and this is an interim arrangement which suits the interests of, first of all, the people of Jammu and Kashmir. First of all, the peace, safety, security, and a sense of security for the people of Jammu and Kashmir. So, as an interim arrangement, if something has been brought into, we shouldn't raise undue fingers. We shouldn't be so much as an over suspecting. We shouldn't be, I said, try to create mountains out of molehills. So I think we should be very, very practical. We should be pragmatic. We should take the things as on ground. We should be able to call a spade a spade. We should be able to talk the truth to the people. We shouldn't mislead. Past 6 and 7 years, we have seen people being led up to the garden paths, slogans, autonomy aayega, self-rule aayega, pre-53 aayega, but nothing happened in Jammu and Kashmir. The entire, if we see the income of Jammu and Kashmir, which was not even to sustain even the government employees' salary bill of Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir is a beautiful state. It's the crown of India. Jammu and Kashmir has a wonderful tourist potential. Jammu and Kashmir has a potential in pilgrimage tourism also. Jammu and Kashmir has a excellent potential for adventure tourism also. But you see, the overall earnings of Jammu and Kashmir were not even to satisfy the salary bill of Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir was in a limbo. No sense of security. Hartals, bands, stone peltings, calendars, and all this going in a limbo. India was moving ahead and Jammu and Kashmir was moving backwards. So once this is a change, virtually it's a change. Not only change, this is a metamorphosis. Everything has, I don't say that it was a paradise gained and a paradise lost. Things are coming. Things are limping down to normal. Things are virtually improving. Indicators have improved. The development indicators have also improved. So this is a sincere step on part of the Bharat Sarkar to improve the state of affairs in Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay, let's get a response.
So,
all right.
Secondly,
we have a paucity of time. Let me also quickly get a response from Advocate Khan as well. Advocate Khan, you've heard all of our panelists respond to what you had said in this entire situation. How would you like to respond?
Vineet, in fact, all these things which has been propelled for last many years, if you see For last 5 years, we had a direct control and rule by the central government. Rather, last 10 years, since 2014, the BJP government was a part of the Jammu and Kashmir government. And so far as these things which has been said by the other panelists, I respectfully disagree with them that there has been any improvement in the development or in the security situation. Rather, the situation has gone from bad to worse. You see, those areas which were hitherto peaceful for last 2 decades are now witnessing the terrorist attacks. This is basically, you have annoyed the people of those areas by doing all these things. And in a democracy, you cannot expect that a man who is not an elected representative will control the administration. That is nowhere possible. And that is totally antithesis to the democracy and antithesis to the principles governing the constitutionalism in the country. We are governed by a constitution. We are governed by a democracy. And suggesting that every border state, if it is controlled by the central machinery, would promote security is totally bereft of any logic. I don't think that without roping in the people of that border state, you can counter terrorism. You won't be able. And it is again a misnomer to be used that there has been hartals. You know, in 1996, there was a complete collapse. When elected government came to power, whosoever was the chief minister, I am not concerned about it. He took all pains, all the chief ministers, to restore democracy, to restore nationalism, to restore mainstreamism. A stage was there when definitely we are somewhere disappointed that the Hindu community from Kashmir was forced to leave. Along with the Muslim community, there were a number of Muslims also who left, because those who were associated with the mainstream political parties, either it was Congress, BJP, National Conference, whosoever mainstream political parties, they were threatened, they were forced to leave Kashmir. They were forced to leave Rajouri Punch. They were forced to, I am from Jammu, I am not from Kashmir, to be honest. But there is a feeling of dejectment. There is a feeling of, you can say that disappointment, which is running across Jammu and Kashmir, that our elected representatives have been, you can say that our would-be elected representatives would be powerless. They won't be having any control. And you know, to be honest, the corruption is at rampant right now because there is no accountability of the babus.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.